young beau called to see if she'd like to go to see a show, but Miss Kate said no. I'll tell you what you can do. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Katie Casey saw all the games, knew the players by their first names, told the umpire he was wrong all along, good and strong. When the score was just 2-2, Katie Casey knew what to do. Just to cheer up the boys she knew, she made the gang sing this song. Take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Orioles are in danger of being no hit. We are going to the 9th inning. The Dodgers ahead 3-0, and we are hitless. 9 strikeouts, no hits, 2 walks for Yamamoto. 0-2. Oh my. Jackson twisted like a pretzel in that 3-pitch strikeout. 2 down in the 9th. Sorry, folks. Mayo made the second out, and here we go. Jackson Holliday, our last hope. Hitting the right field. Holliday going back. That ball is off the top of the wall. Is it a homer? The no-hitter is over. It is a home run. Bye, birdie. Jackson Holliday breaks up a 2-out bottom of the 9th no-hitter with a home run. All right, Blake Trinan is on in relief of Yamamoto. 1 more out to get. The Orioles need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Jeremiah Jackson is up to hit, and he is quickly in an 0-2 hole. 3-2 pitch. Jeremiah, left center field. That ball is down up against the base of the wall. It's a double. This game is not over. The tying run is coming up in the form of Gunnar Henderson. It's 1-2 pitch. Take that pitch. Gunnar got hit. Ryan Mountcastle, folks, mount up. The 3-1 to Mountcastle. Ball 4. Bases loaded. And it's Colton Cowser. Oh my, here we go. 3-1 pitch. Taken for ball 4. We walk in a run. It's 3-2. Tanner Scott is on. Emmanuel Rivera is in the box. The 1-1 to Rivera. He hits it up the middle. It's a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Johnson. He scores. We walk it off. The Orioles win it. Hallelujah. Oh, my. Cal Ripken, this one's for you.
One more time.
Orioles magic,
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to live coverage of Orioles baseball, where this afternoon the Baltimore Orioles will be playing the final game of a 3-game series as they have a chance to sweep Los Angeles Dodgers. here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, Baltimore, Maryland. How you doing, everybody? It's your old pal, the Birdwatcher here. People call me BW for short. That works for me. Folks, were you here last night? Were you here? If you were, you'll never forget it. Weren't, you'll always regret it. I'm telling you right now, folks, a game like no one has ever seen before. Just a night before wrapping up the post-game show, I was waxing poetic about how baseball is such a beautiful sport and how every game tells a different, unique story, and you normally will see something never seen before. You have maybe something you haven't seen in a really long time. Well, I don't think anybody saw a situation that played out here in our yard last night ever. I don't think it's ever happened. There have been no hitters broken up with 1 out to go, and the visiting team getting no hit win the ball game. That has happened. Down 3 runs, not so sure. Down to 2 outs, down 3 runs, nobody on base. I'm not so sure. It was just an incredible night. I'm still kind of living because for me, it's still, I called that game for me what was Sunday early morning is now Sunday night, actually 12:30 a.m. going into Monday. NFL is off and running right now, but for those who love baseball, how can you? I like the NFL, don't get me wrong, but it's the kind of game where honestly I could enjoy like the condensed version of the game. Just remove the 40 seconds between plays, all the pomp and circumstance that goes with the NFL. So I'll just catch up with it all. Baseball is a pastime. I enjoy the moments of non-action because there's plenty to digest and talk about anyway. Look, I better hurry up and crack in here. I think it's 5 minutes till first pitch. I am adrenaline at this point. Charm City chat, talk to me. Can you hear me nice, loud, and clear? How are you feeling today? Let me. First, let's get to some news that you might want to get updated on in case I had to removed from the ball game early after taking a foul ball off his throwing hand. Ball was initially contacted by the bat and bunted to him. It wasn't like a 90-something mile pitch straight onto the hand. In fact, he's okay. Or not in the lineup today because there's a lefty starting. Any issues with his throwing hand. He will be okay. My audio is sounding a bit choppy. My mic is going in and out. Does anybody else want to corroborate with that? Yes. Take a listen to myself. Want to corroborate with that? That sounds like I'm really low. I'll tell you that. Check. Oh, it is lower. Sounds like I'm really low. Wow. I'll tell you that. All right. Good thing we got this. Check. Oh, it is lower. Sounds like I'm really low. All right. We don't need all the feedback and whatnot. Okay. So this is typically an occasion where I just unplug this, plug it back in, and we're good to go. Let's give it a try. check, 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 check. Okay, looks like it's okay. I'll say this little microphone stand, the base of it, where it hits the desk, there's a little gap in there, and sometimes the wires, which, like my microphone wire, it's right up along there, and sometimes when this gets lifted up, the wire gets pinched underneath, and maybe that is what's causing that. Thank you for clearing that up, folks. If my audio ever sounds just slightly off, please let me know, because it should sound really damn good all the time. I don't have a high budget production here, as you might have noticed. My personality and good sounding audio, that's the keys to success here at the BirdWatcher Channel. I'm rather certain. So, yeah, please let me know. Are we going to have a very, very tiny turnout, even though just, 15 hours ago or whatever, wrapped up one of the greatest nights in any game in the history of this. I mean, especially when you consider, again, we're a last place team. It's been a very disappointing season. This game, in a vacuum last night really doesn't have a whole lot of, impact on anything. We're not even playing like a team in our own league, never mind our own division, an interleague game. It's more of, about celebrating Ripken's streak and, Shohei Ohtani's here. Ooh, that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, it has been a magical weekend, and I can only think that it's that mojo of Cal Ripken, that turnaround last night, that coming up big and a big spotlight occasion like that. It just was like furthering the lore of Cal Ripken Jr., because he would do that himself so often in his career. Come up with a clutch hit, clutch home run in the biggest moments. And last night was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm never going to forget that game. That is, for a regular season game, especially considering with zero playoff impact, that has to rank right up there. One of my all-time favorite games, walking off, was against the Angels back in 1989, the Orioles 89 Why Not season, when we were last place in 88. We're just a couple of games shy. Had we taken 2 out of 3 in Toronto in the final series of the season, we would have gotten into the playoffs, winners of the American League East, after finishing last the previous season, worst to first. It would have been the first time. The Braves wound up doing that same feat only a year later, as they began their long run as perennial NL East champions throughout the 90s into the 2000s with Bobby Cox and all those great pitchers, and Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, all those guys. The Orioles almost did it first. And, yeah, I better get back to this game. It is about to start. In fact, it feels like it should have started already. Let me make sure this is live. Okay, it looks like it is. All right, we are literally ready for first pitch. Tomoyuki Sugano is going into his windup, and the first pitch is outside. So today, folks, sorry for a crappy pregame setup. I didn't go over anything. But Sugano's facing Clayton Kershaw. Ohtani on the second pitch of the ball game just hit it out 2 rows up into the right center field bleachers. And Sugano, again, you can set your watch to it, folks. He will give up a first inning solo home run to somebody in pretty much every start. It is something else. Second pitch of the ball game is hit out to right field by Shohei Ohtani. And Shohei, I can tell you this right now, bud. You're not killing my vibe. Whatever happens today is not going to bring down the vibes, all right? Barring a terrible injury to one of our... Whoa, I didn't want to go black. Barring a terrible injury to one of our players, you can't ruin my vibe today, okay? 1-0 Dodgers. And yes, I'm knocking on wood and whatever about saying what I just said. I don't want to see any of our players get hurt. Enough already. 1-0 Dodgers. Mookie Betts, a 1-1 pitch, is fouled first base side into the crowd. Wow. Yeah, Sugano just, just too easy to hit home runs off of, honestly. Like, that's what worries me about any thoughts of retaining him for next season. I mean, again, it would need to be a mutual desire. He'd need to want to play for us, and we'd need to want him to play for us. I just got a feeling between both of those variables, one of them isn't going to play out, and he's not going to stay here or re-sign next year. But the reason why I'm not too worried about it is I just think he's too prone to giving up the home run ball. And if we ever do get back into the playoffs next season and he were to start a ball game, that would probably give me nightmares just thinking about, giving up that first inning long ball. It really does make it difficult when you start a game off like that. We've got a full count on Betts. Swing and a miss. A fastball at the top of the zone. And Sugar gets his first strikeout of the day.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
All right. One away. Here is Freddie Freeman hitting .299. He takes a swing and a miss on a splitter that dropped under the zone. .299 average, 19 homers, 77 driven in. Freeman's been a .300 hitter just about every season of his major league career. He's a really, really consistent hitter. 1-1 pitch. That one's lifted out towards center field. And who is that? Is that Mateo? Oh, no. I guess I should have looked at this lineup before going on the air. I still haven't looked at the lineups. Jorge Mateo's in center field, folks. Oh, my. I guess we're not interested in keeping this win streak going. We've got 5 wins in a row. Let's line up today. Holy cow. Let's take a closer look. Normally I get these lineups looked at before I go on the air and then go over them again before first pitch with you guys, but I am just now digesting this. Michael Conforto up with 2 down. 1-0 pitch is hit into right field. That is a base hit for Conforto. 2-out single. All right, so here it is. The Dodgers lineup. Ohtani led off. He's DHing. Betts is at short. Freeman at first. Conforto just got on base with a hit. He's in left field. Alex Call's coming up next. He's playing in right field. Miguel Rojas bats 6th. He's at third base. Hyun-Sung Kim at second base hits 7th. Ike Hernandez in center field hitting 8th. And Ben Rortvedt catching again, batting 9th. Alex Call takes high for ball 1 from Sugano. Clayton Kershaw will do the pitching for the Dodgers. Another guy on his way to the Hall of Fame. First ballot, no doubt. Call looks at a strike. Count even at 1-1. All right, your Orioles lineup. Okay, we've got some guys taking the day off. This lineup is not going to impress you. There's a called strike, too. Jeremiah Jackson will lead off for the first time, I believe, ever, as Holiday is getting the day off. Jackson, Jeremiah, playing right field today, will hit leadoff. Ryan Mountcastle going to bat second, DHing and batting second. Call takes up and away. It's 2-2. 2 down, runner at first for the Dodgers in the top of the first. A run is in on a Shohei Ohtani home run. Was that his 50th, by the way, or 48th? I think he had 47 coming into this. I think that was his 48th home run. Ground ball to the right side past the diving glove of Luis Vasquez, who's playing second base, and Call has a base hit. So 2 on with 2 out. Getting back to this lineup here. So Jeremiah leads off. Mountcastle hitting second. Gunnar will hit third and play short as usual. Emmanuel Rivera, cleanup hitter today at third base. Alex Jackson all the way up to the 5 spot, doing the catching. Dylan Carlson will hit 6th, playing left field. Kobe Mayo will bat 7th. He's at first base. Jorge Mateo is in center field and hitting 8th. And then Luis Vasquez is at second base and batting 9th. Miguel Rojas looks at strike 1 from Sugano. Rojas yesterday had a couple of doubles in the loss for LA. The 0-1 pitch is a little bit low and outside. Sugano's over 20 pitches already here in the first inning. Here comes the 1-1. Oh, nice little sweeper. The top inside corner, front door sweeper. 2 strikes on Rojas. Last night was just nuts. Absolutely nuts. 1-2 pitch is low. Would be nice to get a sweep, back-to-back sweeps of some NL West teams that are playoff bound. But with this lineup, already down 1-0, we're really going to have to show that this weekend was our destiny. I mean, the baseball gods, I asked for help yesterday. I asked the baseball gods for help, and they showed up. They knew the situation. The 2-2 pitch to Rojas is fouled back. We'll do it again. 25 pitches for Sugar already. Let's get this inning over. The 2-2. Hit on the ground toward short. Gunnar will underhand it to Vasquez for the force at second base. That'll end the inning. But a leadoff home run by Shohei Ohtani. I mean, yes, Sugano needs to fix this giving up a home run every first inning problem, but I think there's a lot of other pitchers around baseball that have given up first inning home runs to Shohei Ohtani. So what are you going to do? It's 1-0 Dodgers as we go to the bottom of the first. The Orioles are coming up to bat. Jeremiah, Mountie, and Gunnar due up. Another thing I didn't realize until right before starting the stream tonight is that we've got an off day tomorrow. Again, second homestand in a row, I believe, where we get an off day right in between the two series, which I always find strange. You would think that off day would be a travel day, but I guess you can't have a travel day for everybody. Somebody's always at home and not going. I don't know. Whatever. But we got tomorrow off. We're not back again until Tuesday night, playing the Pirates for 3 games. And then we come back for one more homestand. We got one more homestand after this, and that's the end of the season at home. I believe that could have only happened on a day involving Cal. Reminds me of his last year when he won the All-Star Game MVP. I'll tell someone that can only happen to Cal. Yeah, absolutely, Scott. And, of course, if you remember in that ball game, Cal came up to hit. First pitch he saw, Chan-Ho Park. Some people claim that Chan-Ho threw a batting practice fastball to Cal to basically give him a chance to hit the crap out of it. But whatever. You still got to get off the swing. And Cal hit a home run there in his final All-Star game. Again, just always rising to the occasion. In 91, when he won the second of his 2 MVPs, and I believe the final MVP won by an Oriole, he won the MVP of that All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. You know. And again, it wasn't like Cal was looked at as one of the best home run hitters of his generation. That wasn't really his calling card, but if the situation called for it, he seemed to always be able to hit the home run. Clayton Kershaw has fallen behind 3-0 on Jeremiah Jackson. And here's a strike. Jeremiah, folks.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog.
That ball is hit out toward right. Gonna be playable right in front of the track. Alex Call makes the catch. Jeremiah retired. 1 out in the bottom of the first. Didn't Cal almost hit for the cycle? No, I don't think so. First of all, it's very rare, if ever, even going back like 25 years ago, for a player in an all-star game to get 4 plate appearances, because they got to, fit all those players in. All the starters get taken out. Usually the starters will get like 2 at-bats, and then they go to the bench and try to get everybody involved. 1-0 pitch to Ryan Mountcastle is swung on and missed. A slider below the zone. Count is 1-1. 1 out, nobody on in the bottom of the first.
Okay, mount up. Okay, mount up.
But he went nuts in that home run derby up in Sky Dome, as it was known back then. That was back when you were just given X amount of outs and as many swings as you wanted, and either it was a home run or an out, and that was it. Nice and simple. And Ripken at the time had broken the record for most home runs hit in a home run derby. Ryan Mountcastle looks at a called strike 3 from Kershaw. 2 down here for Baltimore in the bottom of the first. That's right. That 6-hit game from Cal. It's not often you get, and I believe it was a 9-inning game, right? It's not often you get 6 at-bats in a 9-inning game. Gunnar Henderson looks at a strike.
His name's Gunnar, and he's dating my mom.
Curveball from Clayton, and that is in the dirt. 1-1 on Gunnar. 274 average. Kershaw comes again, swung on and popped up. Right at second base. Second baseman will make the catch to win the inning. The Orioles are retired in order in the bottom of the first. We go to the second inning. The Dodgers lead it 1-0. All right. I need a lucky. I haven't had one. Wanted to have one before going live, but wouldn't you know it? Sunday Sports Machine. Are you stealing George Michael's Sports Machine concept? God, you really have no couth, do you, buddy? You have no... Wow. Sorry, folks. I'm just monitoring something. There is somebody out there that really just boggles my mind. Anyway, I'll be right back. All right. All right. Top of the second, Sugano on the mound. It is Hyseung Kim at the plate. He takes a fastball high for ball one. Hyseung Kim in 62 games this season's batting .292, just a couple of homers. Not a power hitter whatsoever. 15 RBI. Fouls this pitch away. The count is 1-1. Good morning to you, Frank. Boy, you're a chatty one today. But I'm not complaining. It looks like we've got a small turnout on this Week 1 NFL Sunday. I tried to badger all you Baltimore folk to not let the NFL interrupt today. I mean, the Ravens aren't playing until the Sunday night game. There's no conflict here. There's room for both. 1-2 pitch to Kim is hit to left field. Going to hang up there for Carlson. He makes the catch. Again, for the Orioles defensively, it's Carlson in left, Mateo in center field. Don't make me say that again this year, Mancelino. Why are we still trying this? Mateo in center field, Jeremiah, and it's Jeremiah Jackson in right. Like, look, Jeremiah has, picked up a lot of aptitude when it comes to playing out in right field. He had I say zero experience. This is about as close to zero as you can get. Like half a dozen starts in the outfield during his entire minor league career. It's not his position. The Orioles just kind of threw him out there because we needed an outfielder, and they wanted to get him in the lineup. And first couple of games out there, he really did look out of place, almost a Mateo-like situation. Jackson has improved, George. I am absolutely acknowledging that. But do you feel good about Jeremiah and Mateo? I mean, look, obviously Mateo is the weak link of this equation, but that is asking a lot. To have Mateo in center and Jackson in right, anything in right center field where they have to converge, that's a problem. I don't like that. I do not like that plan at all. Kike Hernandez on a 2-2 pitch fouls it away. Still 2-2 on Kike, batting .202. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, top of the second. Froggy's doing her thing. I'm not sure, but Froggy was around last night, at least a little bit, I think. Yeah, she was, because I remember her typing in the Discord. Here's the payoff pitch to Hernandez. That one's hit in the air, right center field. So here we go. Mateo and Johnson. This one is Johnson's ball. He'll make the catch. Jackson. Oh, my God. Too many Jacksons, and then we got a Johnson. I said, and then we got a Johnson. There's 2 down. Here's Ben Rortvedt, who was helpful for the Dodgers at the plate yesterday. Put down a couple of sacrifices, also had a base hit. Not bad for a guy that's hitting a .04. And filling in after the first string and second string catchers for the Dodgers are now both hurt. 0-1 is fouled back. It's 0-2. One more strike, and Sugano will have an easy second inning. What's this about Adley? Oh, may I ask if Rutschman is going to leave now if Basayo has a $67 million lifetime contract? I don't know about lifetime, but it is a lengthy contract. We're talking 8 or 9 years. And Sammy has just turned 21, so he'll be maybe still in his 20s by the time that deal is through. If not 30 at the oldest, and plenty of years left to go, you would hope, in his career. So it's not a lifetime contract, but it is a significant long-term contract. And the Orioles could think about trading Adley and going with Sammy as their primary catcher. Here's another 0-2 to Rortvedt. That is in the dirt, 1-2. But it's not like they need to force their hand and have to trade him away, which is a good thing, because if we were in a situation where we couldn't work around, having 2 catchers where both should be starting, but we can't really do that. Here's a pop-up caught by the second baseman Vasquez in shallow right field. That'll end the top of the second inning. Dodgers go 1-2-3. Better inning for Sugano. Still 1-0 Dodgers. But to finish my thought, there's some flexibility to where Adley and Basayo can both still have room on this team and be everyday players. They just won't both be catching. Rutschman is only caught in the bigs, but there is talk about getting him to learn first base. And, of course, DHing is always a way to get somebody in the lineup. And Basayo has already made a start at first base in his short time with the team. So Basayo could be playing for. You could have a situation where it's a straight platoon, and every day one's catching, one's playing first. And if you do that, nobody's catching back-to-back games all season, and you can basically have them both in the lineup every day, even though they both catch. And that's a luxury teams don't have, because catchers need rest from, the crouching and the physical task of catching a ball game. You can play first base every day. And then you can, fit in a DH where you're not on the field at all to get extra rest but still play. So, yeah, long story short, I'm sorry. I'll try to shorten my answers for any additional questions, but there's a way to get them both in this lineup. And I think for 2026, that's probably going to be the plan. I don't think it's a good time to look to move Adley because his stock is pretty low. I'd like to see Adley find his groove back from his first 2.5 seasons. This past year and a half have been on a downhill trajectory, and yeah, he's not as valuable in a trade, I think, as he would have been, about a year and a half ago. Emmanuel Rivera, folks, last night's walk-off hero, is at the plate in the bottom of the second, leading off. He's got a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. 260 average, still hasn't hit a home run this season with the big club. 11 RBI, 2 of them last night. That 2-1 pitch is in the dirt, 3-1. Clayton Kershaw's got plenty of gray in the beard, and you're starting to see some in his hair as well. Man, this guy came up when he was only, 20 years old? Been a great ambassador for the sport for a long time. Here's a pop-up to right. Can of corn out there for Alex Call. He makes the catch. 1 away. Folks, they are showing us tweets of reactions from folks from last night's ball game. Where's my tweet? Where's the BW tweet? Where's the BW YouTube short of the greatest call of the greatest inning in the history of baseball? Where is it? Why am I not up there on the screen? Here's Alex Jackson. First pitch is a strike. 0-1 from Kershaw. Curveball. Fouled at the plate. 0-2. Jackson hitting .233. He's got 5 home runs and 7 RBI. The 0-2. Hit in the air. Left field. Left center, I should say. Actually, it's closer to center than left. It's going to be caught by the center fielder, Kike Hernandez, for the second out. Dylan Carlson back in the lineup today.
Dylan, your son?
Hey, BW, what's going on, Charm City chat? Called strike to Carlson. How was BW reaction last night? Bottom of the ninth, 2 out, and Holiday smashed that no-hitter. If you'd like to know, Dingleberry, please look at my YouTube short. Our old buddy, play-by-play with JJ, was kind enough to take his time last night and edit together a condensed version of the bottom of the ninth call. It's about 2.5 minutes long. And that's the best way to relive it all quickly. And it's already racked up a nice view count. I guess these YouTube shorts have value, folks. I just don't have a phone to edit them on. But once again, thanks to Play-by-Play with JJ for the assist. 3-1 pitch to Carlson. He takes a strike. Full count. 2 down, bases empty. Here comes the payoff pitch. Way outside. All right. That's not vintage Kershaw. He missed by a bunch on that payoff pitch. Ball 4 to Carlson.
I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
Our first base runner of the ball game is on with 2 down here in the bottom of the second. Here is Kobe Mayo. Folks, just spread it out.
Just get it all on there. Just spread it out.
Mayo takes one outside. Kobe's average is at 188. We need to get that up to like 220 before this season's over. Let's get it up at least. It's not good, but a whole lot better than 188. There's a strike. 1-1 on Mayo. Against righties, he's only hitting 169 with an OPS of just 538. That's not a good OPS for a light hitter. Never mind a guy that is built to hit 30 or more homers a season. The count is 1-2 on Mayo after this swing and miss. Next pitch, curveball in the dirt. And Rortvet keeps that ball from getting away. Two and two the count. Kershaw's pitch is swung on and hit hard but foul down the third base line. Nice quick retrieving of the ball there by the ball girl. And he slips it under that protective screen along the stands and hands it off to a young man for a souvenir. That's always nice. 2-2 pitch, taken, called, strike three. Fastball straight in there. Mayo frozen. And the inning is over. The Orioles get their first base runner of the day on a 2-out walk, but that's it. At the end of two, the Dodgers lead it 1-0. All right. What is going on today, Charm City chat? I don't think I've gone down and said hi yet. Again, we don't have a whole lot of people here. The room is about half the size as usual. And I have to think it's going to be that way for the remaining Sunday games until the end of the season. Cameron, George, Matt, Kurt, Ulysses, On Point are all here. Who else we got? Matt. Oh, I said you already. It's all the same people. Edward is here. Frank Baker. Bobo. Hunter Jim. Ronnie Hood. Steve Nicholson, who only asks, why?
Who are you?
Not sure what that why was for, Steve, but hopefully whatever you're wondering, you no longer are wondering. Christian is here. And Scott. Erica is here. How you doing, Erica? Paul is here. Paul's the one that let me know about that 6-hit game from Cal. Looks like I'm seeing a lot of repeats. Michael is here. Dingleberry is here. Froggy is here. And Bam is here. Warren is here. All right. I think we're caught up, and we're out of time anyway. Shohei Ohtani is at the plate, leading off the top of the third. First pitch is outside, ball one. Ohtani with the lone run of the game so far, leading off the ball game with a home run. I believe his 48th of this season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ohtani faced Sugano 10 years ago, back in June of 2015, in the Nippon Professional League in Japan. Ohtani just lifted off again, and Mateo is not going to be able to get to this ball as it flies over the right center field fence again. 2 home runs for Ohtani in 2 at-bats on the day. It's 2-0 Dodgers. Well, Ohtani had an RBI last night, but other than that, first 2 games, we've kept him pretty well in check, as well as you could hope, but he's making up for it quickly here today. About the only thing you can feel good about is that these home runs came with nobody on base. Mookie Betts with a count of 1-0. Count even now after a strike from Sugano. One pitch. And Betts drills one to left. That ball is going to go. Yeah, I can't. I'm done with Sugano. It's just too many home run balls. I'm sorry. What did I say in the first inning? This is, yeah, I mean, Sugano, like, I see the value of him, but this is the worst trait. This is the worst characteristic. And I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, we need arms that, you know, if we get into a postseason, that you feel good about putting out there. And are you going to feel good about Sugano making a postseason start ever? I don't. So I think it's time to part ways with Sugar. Think he's a good dude. I'm happy we dipped into the Japanese market for some talent. I hope it leads to more, but this looks like a one and done for me. I don't think Sugano, with his track record, you got to remember, folks, Sugano back in Japan is like a Hall of Famer. You're not going to ask a Hall of Famer like Verlander to go pitch in another league somewhere to be in the bullpen as a long man. No, Sugano's not doing that. He's a starter. He's always going to be a starter, or he's going to retire. That's the kind of, you know, that's his career. That's, you can't ask him to do that, and I wouldn't blame him for not wanting to do it. He would rather just retire, because, again, he's already going to the Hall of Fame in Japan. Conforto at the plate. It's 3-0 Dodgers on 3 home runs, 2 by Ohtani, 1 by Betts in the top of the third. 1-1 to Conforto is outside. I mean, believe me, there were times where ground ball to first. Mayo underhanded to Sugano, covering the bag for the second out. I mean, if we didn't have so many pitching injuries, and with Sugano having his struggles at certain stages of the season, even then, I don't think the Orioles would have ever demoted him to the bullpen, because, again, not only is it kind of an insult to Sugano with his career, but it would also be terrible PR for us and how we handled Sugano, and probably ruin opportunities in the future to sign talent out of Japan. You build a quick reputation, and, you know, honor means a lot in Japan. I don't think I'm creating any headlines with that. So to do something that would be kind of dishonorable, which I think, again, a guy like Sugano, he has already accomplished everything you could do in the league he was in. you're not going to treat him like a mop-up guy in the bullpen. Ground ball to short, and that play will be made. Alex Call grounds out to shortstop. Gunnar Henderson retires him to end the inning. But the Dodgers score twice, both via the long ball. Ohtani and Mookie Betts go yard off of Sugano. He's given up 3 home runs in the first 3 innings. We go to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Dodgers. Hey, Cantankerous, folks. How you doing, Cantankerous? Long time no see. Wish you were here last night for one of the best nights I've had since starting this channel up and calling these games. What a treat last night was. Just absolutely incredible. Yeah, Griffey showed up for me again. I mentioned it last night. 2 guys that I saw showing up that really got me in the feels was John Miller, Orioles radio man from 83 to 96, and Mike Musina, the Moose. Both guys sort of left town under circumstances where, you know, it wasn't a mutually friendly parting. And I haven't seen either of them back in our ballpark since the day they left. And we're talking like for both guys somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 years, give or take. Just really nice to see. Really nice to see both those guys. Because John Miller really surprised me because obviously he's the voice of the Giants. We were just out in San Francisco last weekend. Miller had recorded a video that the Orioles had played on their Twitter feed, other social media outlets, what have you, where he was talking about the streak. Jorge Mateo at the plate on an 0-1 pitch, grounds 1 to third. He will be retired. Mateo makes the first out for the Orioles in the bottom of the third. So, yeah, they cut a little video with John Miller talking about 21-31 night, and I figured, okay, well, they found a way to work him into this ceremony without him being there, but there he was. I guess he got a chance to take a break from calling Giants games, fly across the coast, and be here for this. Luis Vasquez at the plate. 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. It's 2-0. Is hit in the air, center field. That ball's going to hang up there and be chased down by Kike Hernandez, 2 away. Well, right now, Clayton Kershaw is looking like he's ready to challenge Yamamoto for a no-hit bid. We are 0 for everything so far. 1 walk. Back to the top of the order, Jeremiah Jackson.
Jeremiah was the bullfrog.
1-0 the count. Check swing foul at the plate. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Both wins in this series have been by 1 run. 2-1 on Friday, 4-3 last night, and both games have been walk-offs. The Orioles only had 1 walk-off win before Friday night on the year, and they were the last team in baseball to get their first walk-off. And here we are enjoying 2 back-to-back nights. Jeremiah takes a pitch well off the plate. It's 2-1. Weather looks like it's agreeable. 73 degrees, according to the ESPN page, at the ballpark right now. So even if there is humidity, at 73 degrees, it should be relatively comfortable. It always seems to be the case, doesn't it? Like the day football starts, and when I say football starts, I mean Sunday. Forget the Thursday night game. Curveball swung on and missed. Jeremiah strikes out, and the inning is over. The Orioles have no hits and just one walk off of Kershaw through the first 3 innings. We go to the 4th. Dodgers lead at 3-0. Doesn't it always feel that way, folks? The day the NFL returns, it almost feels like the season changes like virtually overnight. Kind of felt that way to me. Sometimes it'd still be butt-ass hot week 1 or week 2, but typically, you know, if you live in the mid-Atlantic area anyway, I guess different parts of the country, different stories, but in the mid-Atlantic, it does seem like you get to that first NFL Sunday and the weather just starts to change. The season's changing to the fall. By the way, folks, nothing better than the fall in the mid-Atlantic of the United States. It's my favorite season, and one of the things I really miss. One of the things I had to trade away moving out here. I mean, there's no seasons out here, folks. It is 85 degrees every day, 365 days a year. There's rain season versus dry season, but temperature-wise, and, you know, I mean, you live in Maryland, you know how it is, folks. In the winter, you can get a foot of snow, and in the summer, it can be over 100 degrees. You get the whole range of weather and seasons, and you feel them all, and you don't get that over here. You don't get that if you live like in southern Florida or other areas of the states, but I do miss the seasons, folks. Enjoy the coming fall weather. First pitch is off the plate to Miguel Rojas, leading off the top of the 4th inning. Next pitch is outside and low, 2-0. I love snow. I especially love how the neighborhood looks right after it's done snowing and before people start driving around or shoveling it up, where everything is just still and there is just white covering everything. The trees, when you get like a 6-inch thing of snow on every branch, it's crazy. It's beautiful. 14-3 Commanders over the Giants. Thanks for that update, William. I appreciate it. Jaden Daniels throwing for 2, or we got a rushing touchdown in there, or what? Pitch fouled away by Rojas. It's still 2-2. Miller had a Giants game to work at St. Louis today. Just came in for that one game yesterday. I mean, John Miller, man. And again, Musina, these are guys that are like, you know what? The O's kind of did me wrong. Not really happy with them as an organization, but the Angeloses are gone. There's a new ownership, and this is an occasion that is bigger than any grudge that anybody could be holding. Let's be here for it. And that's the thing about this game of baseball, folks. I've seen it before with other ceremonies, with other teams, players that come back that might have had some animosity in the past. You know, here's a throw down to second on a stolen base attempt. It's going to be wide of the bag. Gunnar Henderson trying to slap a tag down on the legs. But Miguel Rojas just stole his third base of the season. Not a great throw there by Alex Jackson. So nobody out, and now a runner in scoring position with Hai-Seung Kim at the plate. 0-1 count to him, and that ball's up the middle. Hits slowly and dies right behind the mound, and Sugar goes down to a knee. Did that hit off of him? Sugano goes down to a knee on the mound. He's back up to his feet, but he was down to his knee for a sec, and here comes Mansolino and the interpreter. Okay, so it kicked off his right foot. Ball came bouncing back toward Sugano, kicked off his right foot, and that's why the ball just died right behind the mound. Sugano is hunched over, and it doesn't look like he's able to put full weight on his right leg. I got a feeling he's not going to stay in this game. I don't want to speculate, but I feel like even if it's not a big deal, he's still going to get taken out of this game. There's something about Sugano just standing there hunched over. It's like he's saying, please take me out of the game. Now he's wincing. Just take him out. He's showing me no signs of wanting to stay. Take him out. He's now hobbling off the field. Another pitcher down for Baltimore. Grant Wolfram is getting up in the Oriole bullpen. We're going to have a pitching change, and it's probably going to be about 10 minutes before we get started because Wolfram will be given all the time he needs to get loose, and he's going to be asked to probably go a couple of innings. He did not pitch last night, but he did pitch a lot on Friday night. So I don't think they're going to want to go to ends here. They're going to Wolfram. So you're getting a lefty. Wolfram has gone more than an inning in the past this season. And yeah, they asked ends to do that on Friday, I think. I know it's been 2 days, but technically it's more like 1.5 days because Friday night game, Sunday day game. Plus, we're already down 3-0. There's 2 men on base with nobody out. This could get ugly quickly. Yeah, not shaping up to be a fun day here, folks. I got to tell you. Again, and I even said I'm not going to let the vibes be ruined unless there's a major injury. Obviously, Sugano's been injured. And I feel like I've jinxed something when I said that, but it doesn't look major to me. I honestly think Sugano might, his foot might be stinging some, but I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just going with the way I feel and what I'm seeing. I'm not saying any of this is true, but it just looks like he just wanted out of the ball game, honestly. It looked like he said to himself, you know what? I don't want to give up a 4th home run. And I got a chance to just exit now. And I think that would be my preference. Again, that's what I'm reading out of it. You can call me a jerk for even suggesting that he would, treat a situation like that, but that's how I'm seeing it. The rain continues to fall over in my neck of the woods. Folks, we had floods here just hours ago while I was napping. And the rain is back. It stopped for a little while. Now it's back. Excuse me. All right, I'm sure we'll get some kind of preliminary update regarding Sugano from Rock Kabatko. Kabatko 12 seconds ago tweeted out simply Kramer forearm, Basayo hand, Sugano foot/ankle. Afraid to ask who's next. Hashtag Orioles. Well, Rock, no pun intended, but have you been living under your own first name? We've been injury prone all year. We've got injuries on average. 2 guys a week are going down all season. So I don't know what's got you surprised about this. Grant Wolfram is getting loose on the actual game mound. William, I think as long as Mike Elias is the GM, the odds of the Orioles using a first-round draft pick on a pitcher are very, very slim. I think the only way it would happen would be if we finish with the worst record or bottom 2, bottom 3 record, and we got a top 2 or 3 pick, and there's like a Paul Skeens type of pitcher on the board, and the 1 or 2 teams ahead of us go with a position player, and that best pitcher on the board for that draft that looks ready to start and be effective and an all-star right out of the gate kind of a pitcher, unless it's a guy that slam dunk of a pitching, I don't even want to say prospect. Like, he's already past the prospect level, like Paul Skeens. It's just not the Orioles under Elias's. That's just not how they draft. They don't feel comfortable taking pitchers that high, and I don't think they're going to change. Kike Hernandez has a count of 0-2. First and third for the Dodgers, nobody out. Grant Wolfram is on to relieve the injured Sugano. First thing he does is check on Kim at first base. Can we draft a doctor? I know, right? O2 pitch to Kike. Swung on and missed. Wolfram comes in to complete. Or was that a 3-pitch strikeout? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, the ball was put in play. So, yeah, Wolfram comes into the game. 3-pitch strikeout. See you later.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear? Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
Yeah, Edward, I've been talking about LA's bad luck with their injuries as well, with the pitchers. It's true. Roki Sasaki's done for the year. Glasnow, who was scheduled to pitch Friday night's game, just popped up with a back spasm. Kershaw hasn't been healthy. Of course, he's at the stage of his career where you can understand he's not going to be making 30-plus starts a season. Who else? Blake Snell is down, right? Or has been down. Dustin May, another arm. Lots of guys. Ben Rortvet at the plate. 0 for 1. Double play ball here would be nice. Rortvet, not a fast runner. Good double play candidate. He's trying to bunt. And a snap throw down to third was awful. The Dodgers are going to score a run on a terrible throw down toward third base by Alex Jackson. And folks, look, I don't want to pick on Alex Jackson, but in my heart of hearts, I honestly believe Maverick Hanley should be ahead of Jackson in the pecking order. His defense is really good. I know Jackson's got a bat. He doesn't have a great average, but when he does get hits, they're normally for extra bases, and it's a nice weapon to have that in your lineup. But to me, when it comes to catching, it's defense first. And if you got offense to go along with it, great. But, man, this throw by Alex Jackson was terrible. And it directly leads to a run. It's 4-0 now. The runner at first now at second base. So not only does a run score, takes the ground ball double play out of order. And there is a ground ball to second base. And there you go. Hit pretty slowly. Not sure if they would have doubled him up, but again, it's the catcher. Veteran catcher might have been able to double him up. But, yeah, that throw by Jackson was terrible. And now you got 2 down with a runner at third and Ohtani up, who's already 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. At least he's facing a new arm out there. And first pitch is a good sign for us. A curveball from Wolfram and a good one to get Ohtani to swing and miss. That pitch was in the zone and still got Ohtani to miss it. It's 0-1. Pitch high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Dodgers have scored once in the first, twice in the third, and 1 more here so far in the fourth. 7 hits now. The Orioles don't have a hit, but they do have an error. Pretty ugly. Looking a whole lot similar to last night's box score. It is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ohtani. The pitch. Low and away. 2-2. Yep, this is not shaping up, folks. I mean, the magic that was on display last night, how do you repeat it? I said it right after the game. Like, how do you top this? It might be a case of a hangover for us. Obviously, the lineup isn't as strong as you'd like to see. Sugano gives up 3 home runs and departs early with an injury. It's not looking good. Full count to Ohtani, and that is ball 4. First and third now for the Dodgers. 2 down in the top of the fourth. Drew French is going to come out to talk to Wolfram. Betts is up next. You got the lefty Freeman up after that. That's the thing, man. The 1-2-3 punch of Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman. What do? You can't play the pitch around game because once you get to Freeman, you can think about it. But not in the lineup today is Teoscar Hernandez. He's normally hitting after that. That's not easy. That's the difference, I feel like, between the Dodgers and the Yankees. And talking about the World Series last year, obviously, you know, the Yankees with the errors they made in that 5th inning of whichever game that was. You talk about that and their lack of, you know, ability to field and what have you. The scouting report the Dodgers had on how to beat them and what have you. But the Dodgers just have just a better lineup. To me, we beat the Yankees pretty easily last year, just learning how to pitch around Soto and Judge. They were a 1-2 punch. The Dodgers have a 1-2-3 punch, and that makes a big difference. It's 0-2 on bets. 2 down, runners at first and third. Wolfram from the belt. Here's the pitch. It's low and in. Curveball. Hey, William, go get me a pack of Luckies, all right? Thanks. I'm running low. Ground ball to the third. Rivera across the diamond in time, and that will end the inning. But the Dodgers score again. They've scored in 3 of the first 4 innings. They've got a 4-0 lead. It's an ugly-looking scoreboard. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. For the Orioles, no runs, no hits, but 1 error. Not good, but there's a lot of baseball left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 4-0 Dodgers. Mr. Hyde, they range anywhere from about $2 to $5. $2 for the, the cheapest of the cheap. $5 for top shelf. And actually, when I first moved out here, those prices were almost half of what they are now. Premium pack was about $2.50, $3. Cheap pack was like 80 cents. Yeah. Folks, living out here in a lot of ways is like turning the clock back, but still having internet access. You get the best of both worlds. You got all the modern amenities that you enjoy, or maybe they're ruining your life. I don't know. The internet affects a lot of people in a lot of different ways. But prices for stuff, like rolling back the clock couple of decades or so. 14 for marble. I remember my mom used to smoke a brand called Barclay, which is so gross. They had to be the grossest cigarettes ever on the market. And I remember the corner store in my neighborhood where I grew up. They carried that brand just for her, because nobody else bought it, because it was awful. Barclay cigarettes. And she would just pull into the corner store and have me pop out as an 8-year-old kid, 9-year-old kid, whatever, to go run into the store with a $20 bill in my hand to get a carton of Barclay for, I guess it was $20 or whatever change you got back. We've got a strikeout. Ryan Mountcastle goes down. Sorry I didn't call the pitch sequence that led up to the strikeout, but Mountcastle is retired for the first out in the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring up Gunnar. He looks at a strike at the top of the zone. Are they suffering from any drug epidemic out there? Not really. I mean, there's issues like there are in any country with certain kind. What is it here? It's like there's no meth out here. You never hear about anybody on meth, but what is it? What's the one drug out here that they're a little worried about? It's something like meth. but I can't remember what it is. But yeah. Yeah, no. It's I don't know what to say about it. Gunnar takes a pitch in the dirt. The count is 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. Really, the biggest problem about living out here is avoiding vehicular accidents, because Thailand leads the entire world in that department. It's not a good thing. Gunnar just struck out. Clayton Kershaw is in a mood today, folks. Clayton Kershaw is in a mood. The Orioles could not get a hit until 2 down in the 9th yesterday. They are hitless, and they are almost through 4 innings today. Rivera goes to right field, and Emmanuel Rivera, thank you. The Kraken does it again. Rivera breaks up Kershaw's, it was still in the early stages, but we're not going to get no hit today. 2 out knock by Rivera. Alex Jackson coming up. Can he make up for that blunder in the last half inning? Yeah, it led directly to a run. Alex Jackson looks at a slider for called strike 1. Come on, Alex. You can make up for it. William, you know what I think is going to have a bigger impact on how GMs build their teams, or decisions being made even now? And that's the upcoming collective bargaining agreement at the end of next season. I think you're not going to see too many long-term deals signed this winter. I'm not sure if too many teams are going to hand out contract extensions to certain players or prospects like they normally do. I don't know. Whatever the tea leaves they're reading, I guess decisions are going to be made on whatever they feel like will happen, but it just feels like some things are better left unattended to until they work out this next collective bargaining agreement, because there could be a strike or a lockout. There could be periods of no baseball. And do you really want to, sign a player just to see him sit around doing nothing while we're sitting through a lockout? So I don't know how everything's going to shake out, but to me, that is what a GM is probably having to consider here in the next winter meetings and free agent season coming up, because the next year we don't know yet what's going to happen following 2026. Swing and a miss by Alex Jackson. He strikes out to end the inning. Kershaw finally gives up a hit, but that's it. The Orioles have left 2 men on through the first 4, and they trail it 4-0 heading to the 5th. And yeah, the salary cap is obviously the main dispute, I would say, coming up. The owners, for the most part, want it. The players, understandably, don't. And of course, as fans, you have to sit there and try to figure out, well, who's right? And normally in these situations, neither party are really 100% right. Both parties are going to be greedy and try to get the most out of whatever it is they're trying to get. That's what makes baseball fans upset, is that everybody involved in keeping baseball from getting played is rich. Maybe not as rich as you'd like, but you're still frickin' rich. And us regular folk who, sometimes have to say, well, hun, we could take a vacation or we could afford to go to a few Oriole games. We gotta make sacrifices. And they want to, how about a ticket cap? That sounds good, Dan. How about a baseball cap giveaway cap? I want to put a cap on our cap giveaways. How many caps have we given out this year? 15? I don't know. Salary cap is dumb. Oh, wow. We got a real Cowser fan. He's got the full headgear on, and it's some nightmare fuel. Freddie Freeman leading it off for the Dodgers, top of the fifth. Grant Wolfram, as expected, will continue to pitch, coming on to relieve the injured Sugano. Freeman 0 for 2 so far today. Cut on and missed. The count is 0-2. Yeah, I think that's the best argument to be made for a cap, is that it allows some equality between markets that, there's nothing a smaller market can do about being a smaller market. But if you want a league with 30 teams, the top 2-3 teams are going to be from the biggest, in terms of salary to play with, are going to be from the largest of the markets, and it's going to trickle on down. And, you want to see everybody get a shot. Now, you got teams like the Rays who have been pretty successful at learning how to be competitive and win with virtually no payroll. But, I think for me, I just want to see a situation where it's easier, like the concept of free agency, going back to Curt Flood, I get it. A player shouldn't have to be an indentured servant to one team their entire career. They should have a chance to be able to play for whatever team that's willing to pay them the most. And once you've put in enough service time, you should be given that right. I get it. But it would also be nice as Wolfram strikes out Freeman for out number 1 here in the top of the fifth. It would also be nice just to be able to, like in the old days of baseball, to be able to just keep your favorite players on your team for their entire career. I think every fan base would like to see that. I mean, the Yankees can afford to keep Aaron Judge as a Yankee his entire career and pay him the $50 million a year it takes to do it. But no small market team could do something like that. But if you had a cap, maybe you could. Maybe you could. MLB has more parity than any of the 4 big sports. Well, look, again, money doesn't buy championships. I get it. Look, honestly, I'm giving you my analysis based on what players want, what owners want, and just looking at it from their perspectives. From a fan's perspective, I say screw them both. Yeah, let's talk about making it more affordable for fans. We should be the ones, going on strike. Let's get together and have a collective agreement with these teams, with these owners and these players. We've got demands. Conforto with a 2-2 count. Check swing foul. It's still 2-2. Folks, I apologize that I'm not calling this game pitch by pitch with any amount of frequency. I am a little bit, I guess, hungover from the call last night. I didn't drink, but I'm definitely a bit worn out. 2-2 to Conforto. Grounded toward first. It's going to trickle foul right when it gets to Mayo near the first base bag. We'll do it again. I mean, I just think the NFL, you could say, well, there's not as much parity in the NFL as there is in baseball. And, you know, it's true. Baseball over the past quarter century, most of the teams, here's a base hit in the right field by Conforto on a 2-2 pitch. 1-out single for Conforto. To me, the NFL has always been about how good is your quarterback? How good is your coach? How good is your quarterback? And if you don't have a good quarterback, or if you don't have a coach that doesn't know how to work around not having an elite quarterback, you're not going to win. And it could be generations until you're waiting to finally get that franchise quarterback. Trust me, growing up as a fan of DC football, I know all about that. That's the thing. And the NBA is another thing. It's like if you get that number one overall pick in a year that's got, you know, a player that's destined to be like a perennial all-star franchise player, you know, I don't know. I am just doing a whole lot of flapping my gums. I'm sorry, folks. This ground ball handled barehanded by Rivera. Throw to first in time for the second out. Rivera just made a nice play. Folks, I am zoning out. I apologize. Let me try to lock in here. There's 2 down and a runner at second base for the Dodgers. It's Miguel Rojas now at the plate, and pitch is grounded up the middle. Vasquez at second. Over to first in time, and the inning is over. Scoreless inning for Grant Wolfram. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We are halfway through, and we are waiting for our first hit. 4-0 Dodgers. Great game calling last night. I just saw your YouTube short. Made my eyes leak. Oh, no. Are you experiencing stigmata, Derek? Please consult your local exorcist. But MLB doesn't want, that's why stadiums are smaller now. They want spenders, not the average. Oh yeah, I can tell you that, Bam. That's been going on now for a long time. They've always been gravitating toward, you know, the financially elite and shutting out the regular Joe who makes a modest living from attending games. I mean, I've watched the whole genesis and evolution of this. I grew up at a time when you could be a cab driver in Dundalk and still be able, and I'm talking about Wild Bill Hagee here. You could be a cab driver in Dundalk making, you know, a very modest living and still be able to afford to go to every frickin' Oriole game, all 81 games. And it may feel like a long time ago. It is a long time ago, I guess, but it's in my lifetime, damn it. it's been the thing that's probably hurt me the most as a baseball fan is watching how the average real fan is less and less at the ballpark and replaced more by the corporate fan, if you will. But that's why I tell people embrace minor league baseball. Follow your major league team on the TV. And if you want the enjoyment of watching a game in person, check out AAA, AA. It's still a blast. And it just feels more like old school baseball to me. Here is a line drive base hit by Dylan Carlson into right field. Call will get it back in. Carlson, a leadoff single. Turn on the faucet. Okay. Well, what I mean about the NBA is I don't think there's another sport other than NFL and drafting a franchise, a franchise changing quarterback. You can, of course, the Bullets seem to blow it every time they had it, like a Kwame Brown or something, but you get the number 1 overall pick in a year where a generational talent is coming out. Mayo gets into one to left center. That ball's not going to get out. It's going to be caught in left field by Conforto. 1 away. Looked good off the bat, but false alarm. Yeah, I mean, if you're the San Antonio Spurs back in the day and you get to choose David Robinson, that made the Spurs go from a perennial doormat team to a perennial playoff caliber and eventual NBA. I mean, obviously Tim Duncan arriving, that really put it over the top. But I mean, again, that's the difference. Just your personnel, and some teams just never get a crack at getting one of those super duper players, and then you get markets like the Lakers who find a way to somehow fit Shaq and Kobe on the same team. I don't know, folks. I'm just blabbing. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right. Who do we got? Is that Mateo up now? Jorge Mateo is at the plate. He's 0 for 1. Rounded out to third. First time up. Runner at first, 1 away. The 2-1 to Mateo is called a strike. That was borderline. Kershaw, the veteran, going to get that call. Two to Mateo. Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss. Mateo strikes out. Boy, folks, I don't know what I enjoy more. Mateo's defense in center field or Mateo's bat skills at the plate. Ah, boy. Luis Vasquez, folks. Talk about a 1-2 punch. Mateo and Luis Vasquez. Mr. Hyde's satisfied. That's good to hear. Hey, speaking of Karens, I only saw it after the game I called last night, but did you guys see the video footage of this Karen Phillies fan at a ball game from a couple of days ago, I guess? Karening her way over to demand a home run ball back that a father had retrieved and given to his son. But since the ball landed in her area, The whole world has seen it. Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Hey, David, how are you, man? Yeah, I saw that she apparently got fired from her job. It's 0-2 on Luis Vasquez. Kershaw's 71st pitch of the night. He paints the outside black with a heater, and Vasquez is frozen at the plate. He's still just standing there in shock as the inning is over. The Orioles get their second hit of the day, but when it comes to threatening to score, we haven't really done that yet. And we are now going into the sixth inning. The Dodgers lead it 4-0. Yeah, so I watched it last night, and yeah, terrible behavior. Folks, just so you know, I mean, look, that situation is different. Like, if you guys saw it, then you know that the ball was hit toward her area of that row of seats. But there was also probably about 6 or 7 empty seats between where she was with her 2 or 3 family members or whatever. Then there's about 7 empty chairs, and then it's this father and son sitting down the row. Now, if there's nobody sitting and a home run ball comes flying your way, you're going to get up out of your chair and with the freedom of movement, like, make your way toward where that ball's going to land and try to get the ball. Now, if that whole row was filled with people, that dude is never making it over there to get that ball. There's going to be people in his way. He would have to shove him out of the way. And if he did do something like that, then he would be the jerk in that situation. But he just simply made his way over, not getting in anybody's way. Ball's hit out that way. Apparently, the lady and whoever she's with, they fumbled around with it. They couldn't get it. And, hey, you snooze, you lose. But, you know, and that father was a good dude. Like, he's like, you know what, lady, whatever. My son's not going to be happy with this, but I'd rather, you know, find another way to please him rather than you traumatize him any further by being a terrible Karen. Coach Dan says he wants Hanley. Folks, I asked you about 2 or 3 weeks ago, you know, when Hanley was on his rehab assignment, I was saying, you know, I want Hanley over Jackson when he's ready. And I feel like most of you guys who responded went the other way and said, no, I'd rather have Jackson. But again, I put my emphasis on defense at that position. You have to be defensively sound. There's too many ways to help the other team score by not being a good catcher. Hye-Seung Kim with a 1-1 count leading off the top of the 6th. He's 1 for 2. Paige Stroud is on now in relief of Grant Wolfram, the right-hander. The 1-1 pitch to Kim is a strike. What's wrong with the screen view? To be honest, I haven't looked at my own monitor in forever. It looks like it froze. So let me see if this unfreezes it for you. 1-2 pitch to Kim. That is upstairs, 2-2. Well, it's updated, but now an ad is trying to cover up some of the info. So let me adjust that. And let's see if that'll work out. 2-2 pitch taken for a called strike 3.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear? Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
And not only do I think Hanley would be less prone to making the kind of errors that Jackson just made today, or Gary Sanchez's inability to get a ball thrown in from the outfield to try to tag a runner out at the plate. How many times did he mishandle a ball or a play at the plate? Basically every time that he had that situation. There's so many different situations for a catcher to be able to, take care of. But not only that, you also have to manage the pitching staff. You have to have a bond with the pitcher. You got to be on the same page. You got to know how to call a game. And yeah, all of that's why historically, offense from catchers not that important. When they come along, when you get a Johnny Bench, it's crazy because it's so rare to have that production plus sound defense. But yeah, I think Hanley fits the mold for a backup catcher. I mean, if you're going to be a backup, you're playing once or twice a week. Your bat isn't really that important, right? You're going to hit ninth. And, whatever contribution you make, that's like, extra. It's just a little bonus. 0-2 pitch to Kike Hernandez is fouled away. I'm doing a terrible job calling this game. Can you feel the hangover, folks? Okay. About a 33-year-old movie reference, but fair enough. Funny enough, that movie came out probably less than 10 years since the Orioles' last World Series. At that time, we weren't so desperate. When did the first Ace Ventura come out? Like 92, 93? (0-2) pitch. Fouled away. We'll do it again. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. 94. All right. Well, it was in production in 93. That sounds like a 20-something-year-old BW having a movie argument. Too stubborn to accept a different answer. 1-2 to Kike. Hit on the ground is short. Gunner's got it. Throw over to first in time. 2 away. This just has a feeling of let's get this game over with. We got an off day tomorrow. Last night, you have to think that players didn't just go into the clubhouse, pack up their gear, go home, and get a good night's sleep. It feels like there was probably some kind of an occasion after the game between Ripken's ceremony and all of the, dignitaries in attendance, and then the walk-off win and all that. I'm sure some bottles got popped last night. Ben Rortvet with an 0-1 count. 2 down, nobody on. Looks at a pitch outside. It's a ball and a strike. Rortvet is 0 for 2. Oh, wait, is that the Nature Calls movie, or was that the first one? I just like the way Ace Ventura was compensated for the first animal he rescued in the movie. If you know, you know. That's the way I'd like to be paid. The barter system, folks. I help you, you help me. There's a called strike 3 to Rortvet. And the inning is over.
Well, y'all come back now, you hear? Well, y'all come back now, you hear?
All righty then. We are going now to the bottom of the 6th. Can we rally? Kershaw is on 71 pitches through 5. That's only about 14 an inning. We have not really gotten him in any kind of trouble, although we at least started to get some hits. 2 hits on the board now. Maybe that was the beginning of the impending explosion of Oriole offense coming up soon. I hope so. Come on. It's going to be the top of the order for the Orioles: Jeremiah, Mountie, and Gunnar. Oh, yeah, just walking down the street, kicking the boxes around, or the box. Loser. Excuse me. I'd like to ask you a few questions. How about the decision to cast Tone Loc in the movie? That was inspired. You know what this movie's missing? Tone Loc. Ace, man, you're bothering me, Dan. Always coming in here. I just don't know if I buy Tone Loc as like a chief of police or whatever it is. Jeremiah Jackson, swing and a miss. Kershaw is back at it here in the 6th inning. Jackson is 0 for 2. Oh my, a splitter. Started outside, stayed outside, never got to within a foot of the strike zone. And Jeremiah swung at it anyway. It's 0-2. Curveball in the dirt. Of course, Randall Tex Cobb, character actor from a lot of movies I enjoyed in the 80s and 90s, was the man at the beginning Ace brought the dog back to, when really the whole idea was to, or not bring the dog back, but to fake delivering a package so that he could claim the dog back from this terrible man, Randall Tex Cobb. You remember him as the bounty hunter from Raising Arizona, among some other roles. He was in a lot of movies. But that's my favorite, the bounty hunter from Raising Arizona. Jeremiah Jackson's got a 1-2 count. And here's a ground ball to short. Mookie with a routine play, 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. Tone Loc was great. I asked the guy why he's so fly. I asked the guy why she's so fly. He said, Funky Cold Medina. Folks, if you've never tried Funky Cold Medina, I got to tell you. Ryan Mountcastle looks at a strike at the bottom of the zone.
Okay, mount up.
Is that who the Giants quarterback is? Russell Wilson? I didn't even know. Ground ball to short. Mookie with another routine play. 2 down. George, compared to the first 2 nights, not too impressive. Not too impressive. We had 46,000 last night. They say it's a sellout, but I definitely saw empty seats. 42,000, excuse me. 42,600 last night. I would not be shocked if that number was only a little more than half. Maybe 25 today. Pitches low to Gunnar. It's 2-0. Keegan Aiken is up in the Oriole bullpen. And I don't think there's a giveaway today either. So, what's the problem, Oriole front office? No giveaway? No hat? Gunnar with a line drive, base hit in the right field. Unfortunately, it's a 2-out hit. We got to do a lot more to get a run on here. But Gunnar's on. And Kershaw is at least starting to give up some hits. That's his third hit give him up after 4 innings without a hit. Folks, listen to this. Derek Holmes, who you guys might see in chat from time to time, just got a... Oh, Rivera crushes it into the gap left center field. It's chased down onto the track, and with 2 down, we're going to send the runner home from first, and he will score. Gunnar Henderson comes all the way around. It's an RBI double. The Kraken keeps on cracking. We're on the board. It's 4-1. Oh, Emmanuel. You're not just a saucy late-night Showtime movie from the 80s when I was growing up. You're a Major League Baseball player and a clutch hitter. Yes, you are. Oh, my. Did that just get Kershaw knocked out of the game? Yes, it did. Wow. That's all we had to do to get Kershaw out? Well, folks, we got the big hit to get the party started. A double by Rivera. He is driving in a lot of big runs lately. Call to the bullpen for the Dodgers. Yes, Derek Holmes just left a comment on that YouTube short, the condensed version of last night's bottom of the 9th inning, and he wrote, I got to listen to you with my best friend, one of the greatest games I ever heard called. One of the greatest games I have ever heard called. Folks, let me look around. Who called the game? Who called the game? Let me see. Huh? You? Hey, Copper, you over... Did you... I got a guy over here saying he heard the greatest game he's ever heard called. Who did that? Aw. Look, guys, I'm not going to front. Was it the nutsack banter that did it? Nutsack, baby, nutsack. Nutsack, baby, nutsack. Hugging and a kissing, dancing and a loving, wearing next to nothing 'cause it's hot as an oven. The whole shack shimmy, the whole sack shimmies. The whole sack shimmies. Folks, I should read you these comments on the, yes, again. Hey, I did it last night on point. Can you tell me you're unhappy with the results? I think whatever I've been doing the last couple of nights, I should be given full reign to continue to do at my own leisure. Edgardo Henriquez is on in relief. A right-hander, 15th appearance, ERA of 2.03. He's got a 2-0 count with Alex Jackson up, and Jackson fouls a pitch away. That was 100 miles an hour. All right, this guy throws hard. Nutsack, baby nutsack. When my testes are swinging around and around and around and around. Oh, sorry. 2-1 pitch. Line drive. Left center. That is down. That's rolling all the way to the wall. Another run will score. It's another double. Alex Jackson gets some. Back-to-back doubles. We have cut this 4-0 lead in half. It's 4-2. Folks, Orioles magic still alive here this weekend. All right.
Oh, it's magic, you know.
108 off the bat from Alex Jackson.
Splish, splash, I was taking a bath.
Yes, Joel, it was. Were you here for me calling that pitch? Because that's, I believe, the exact word I used to describe it. Absolutely nasty. If I didn't say nasty, then I probably said filthy. But yes, I think I even said it was the nastiest pitch of the night. And that's when I was convinced in that moment that he was going to get the no-hitter. And yet, baseball did baseball things. Dylan Carlson, that pitch gets away. Lots of wild pitches from Dodger pitching this weekend. And there's 2 down, so the runner goes second to third. It may not make much of a difference. But an infield hit gets him in. Another wild pitch would get him in. A balk would get him in. An error on the infield could get him in. 1-0 on Carlson. Low and in. It's 2-0. Lefty Anthony Banda is up. We saw him on Friday night. Got sleeve tattoos running up and down both arms. I don't know. Your pitching arm, man. Leave it alone. And Carlson hits one to center field, relatively deep. Dead center, but not enough. It will be caught a step or two in front of the track to end the inning. But the Orioles rally for the first time today. And this now feels like a game. We've got 3 innings to go. The Dodgers lead at 4-2 going into the top of the 7th. I'm going to check in on, well, first let's go through the out-of-town scores around Major League Baseball. In the top of the 7th, the Brewers taking care of business. They're up 9-1 on Pittsburgh. Yankees up a run, 4-3 on the Blue Jays in the top of the 7th. Same score, 4-3 between the Tigers, who have the lead over the White Sox, bottom of the 6th. Reds up 3-1, top of the 8th on the Mets. Top 7, Marlins. The Fish ahead 4-3 on the Phillies. Twins are blanking the Royals 3-0 in the 6th. No score in the bottom of the 5th between the Giants and Cardinals. Also bottom 5, a 1-1 tie between the Nats and the Cubs. End of 4, Rangers up 1-0 on the Astros. The Padres have a 3-0 lead, top second on Colorado. Two finals. Oh, that had to be from last night, right? Surely. How can there be games over already? Seattle, Atlanta, Cleveland, Tampa. Are there finals already? There can't be finals already. I have Seattle winning 18-2 over the Braves and the Guardians beating the Rays 2-1. Apparently, there's 2 games done already. Coming up in about half an hour, the Athletics will play the Angels, and the Red Sox and Diamondbacks will also play. No Sunday night game. I guess they get rid of that once the NFL season gets here. I guess that makes sense. Keegan Aiken is on in relief, and he's got Shohei Ohtani to deal with. Top of the order for the Dodgers. Ohtani has reached base all 3 times. 2 via the home run, 1 on a walk. They started early. Oh, were those like the Roku games? Those Sunday Roku games that are like 11 a.m.? All right, that makes sense. Pitch is low to Ohtani. It's 3-0. Ohtani has faced Aiken 6 times before. He's gotten 4 hits, and 2 of them have left the yard. You might be able to understand why Aiken just gave Ohtani a 4-pitch walk. I think their previous history might have something to do with Aiken not coming close to throwing a strike in that at-bat. So, leadoff man on with a walk. You can kind of understand it. Ohtani's hit 2 home runs today already, but the guy up now has also gone yard today. It's Mookie Betts. And he looks at a changeup outside, ball 1. Keegan Aiken's got to be wondering, really? Did you have to bring me in to face Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman? That's not fair. We get a strike at the bottom of the zone. 1-1 on Mookie. He's 1 for 3. Absolutely. Cooking, even not cooking. It's always, always, always good strategy to try to work counts and make the pitcher throw a lot of pitches. Line drive by Betts to left. That one's going to get down for a hit. Man, oh man. Betts is on with 1 away. Freddie Freeman up next. Freeman, first pitch swinging, misses a heater at the top of the zone. Held in check today, he's 0 for 3. You think we're going to see Erlico? Line, well, a 1-hopper to second. Vasquez goes to Gunnar, and Gunnar's return throw is thrown away. It looks like it got into the camera well or the dugout, which means it is going to be an error. Not an error because the trail runner reached on what could have been a double play, because you can't assume that, but because that trail runner will now be given second base because the ball went out of play. So an error on Gunnar. Second error by the Orioles today. 2 down, runner at second. And Conforto up to hit. He takes a slider in the dirt for ball 1. Well, Gunnar needs to understand something. He's not the only, burgeoning star player on this team. And it doesn't have to all be about Gunnar. Gunnar, you don't have to be the hero every night. In fact, I would prefer that you weren't. I would prefer a carousel of heroes, night in and night out. Westberg one night, you another night, Holiday another night, Basayo another night, Beavers another night, you know? Everybody needs to be involved in this team. And when this Orioles team was running good back in 2023, winning 101 games, our lineup was so stacked. We had guys with an OPS of right around 800 or better, like 1 through 8 in the order. There was no easy out, up and down this entire lineup. And that's how we just kept scoring and putting up some of the best offensive numbers in baseball. We don't have many guys with an 800 OPS this season, if any. Gunnar, maybe. I don't think anybody else, at least not that would qualify with enough at-bats. Michael Conforto with a full count. Runner at second, 2 down. Payoff pitch is low for ball 4. Conforto now reaches on a walk. He's already got 2 hits today. 3rd time on base. And that's another lefty that Aiken should be trying to get out, not giving up a free pass. Now you got to deal with a right-handed bat. Alex Call. 2 on, 2 out. Pitch to Call is swung on a miss. Actually, it looks like a foul tip indicated by the home plate ump. Call is hitting well against lefties, 298, about 50 points higher than he does against righties. Swing and a miss. Okay, Aiken gets ahead 0-2. One more strike and we get out of this jam without any damage. And at this stage of the ball game, I think we need to do just that. No mistakes, no more damage. The 0-2 to Call. Upstairs. Yeah, Basayo, if that's who you're talking about, Basayo's okay. Ground ball to third, and taking it to the bag for the force play at third is Rivera to get the easy final out here in the top of the 7th. Folks, I can't believe it. It's already 7th inning stretch time. And man, what a low turnout. I guess this is how Sundays are going to go. We're just over 1,000 people. We're at the 7th inning stretch. I don't think we ever got to 100 people in the room tonight. Luckily, those who have been here have been kind enough to not only, hit the like button, but remember to do it. 84 likes right now, folks. If you happen to be somebody, make it 85. If you happen to have not hit the button, please try. We try to get to 100 at least for these games. But for now, let's get a tradition going. I'm like leaning farther and farther out of my chair. All right, coming up on 2:45 a.m. local time over here. It is time to throw some cakes on the griddle. Get your cakes up in the chat, folks.
Thank God I'm a country boy. Thank God I'm a country boy.
Big Cuzzo, not to slow your roll or anything, but I'm not necessarily doing more shorts. In case you never heard before, I don't have the ability to make shorts because that is a feature YouTube only provides you on your phone. I own a very cheap phone. It is technically a quote-unquote smartphone, but it does not have the kind of power to be editing videos on it. That short was actually made by Play-by-Play with JJ last night. Yes, Joel. Exactly. JJ put that together himself last night and sent it to me in an email and then walked me through how to upload it as a short. I can upload a short that's already been made. So in other words, I could outsource, a game call to somebody that could make shorts, and then they can just send it back to me and I can post it, but I cannot edit together those shorts, unfortunately. And I'm never going to buy some stupid, bloated phone just to have that one ability. It's not worth it to me. I want this channel to grow, but I'm really anti-phones, modern, quote-unquote, smartphones. I feel like life is better with that thing in your hands as little as possible. Funny enough, my ex-girlfriend said the same thing to me once. Anyway, we can make some shorts and you can give the thumbs up or down. Absolutely. I mean, Joel, I've been saying this before. Whatever you guys can do that you would, want to do to help promote the channel, by all means. Yeah, I mean, that's back in my days of working on, I used to actually edit, as a gig. Those were during the days I was living with my boy right there, David, in France. Very familiar with Final Cut Pro, but, I live out here. I travel light, and most of my equipment is not top shelf stuff. And honestly, folks, I really want to kind of keep things simple with this channel. I do see the value in making these shorts. 2-1 pitch to Mayo. That could be a swinging bunt. It is. Kobe Mayo is going to reach to lead off the bottom of the 7th on the kind of hit that makes you think maybe the Orioles are going to do something special again today. Mayo hits a slow roller up the third base line, out of the reach of the pitcher. Third baseman can only pick it up. We have got the leadoff man on. Mayo ever going to steal a base? I wouldn't try in this position, not with Mateo at the plate and down 2. This is not the situation I'd want to see him try. Jorge Mateo is up. Honestly, with 3 innings to play, I don't mind Mateo bunting here to give us 2 cracks at getting in the 3rd run. And if that's the only run we were to get in this inning, then we're still down just 1 run with 2 innings to go. But that's the only way I see Mateo helping with this at-bat. I hope he proves me wrong. 1-1 pitch is outside, 2-1. Mateo 0 for 2 today. Get a P.O. box. I'll do my best to donate you some stuff. All right. This ball is fouled back. Could you give me just a vague idea of what kind of stuff you're talking about, Big Cuzzo? Because it might entice me to speed up the process of a P.O. box. First thing I got to do is take care of my visa next month and know that I'm good to go for another year out here. I really don't like to start anything new until I get that done. 2-2 on Mateo. Pitch. Hit in the air. Center field. Waiting on it is Hernandez. He makes the catch. And that's the first out. Yeah, number 1 priority, get my visa for the next year. I have to make a trip to Laos to get it done. Thailand and Cambodia are still having a border dispute, so the border checkpoints there and immigration offices are they are not functioning. By the way, folks, I failed to mention that the Dodgers have gone to a new pitcher to start this inning. It's Justin Robleski. And he's a left-hander. Base hit! Base hit by Luis Vasquez. And Mayo will motor from first to third. The Orioles are rallying here in the bottom of the seventh. Folks, if Luis Vasquez is going to get on, we might have something here. Back to the top of the order. Jeremiah with a chance to face a lefty. And now that third run is 90 feet away with only one out. Tying run now at first. First pitch to Jeremiah is low for ball one.
Jeremiah was the bullfrog.
Come on, Charm City chat. The 1-0. Lifted foul out of play. Jeremiah is hitting .375 with runners in scoring position. Already a good average in general, even better in the clutch. 1-1 is a strike. He had that big clutch double. I'm telling you right now, folks, of all the moments in that bottom of the ninth last night, I think it was the double by Jeremiah after Holiday's home run. That was the key to the walk-off, because swing and a miss, Jeremiah goes down, a slider low and away, 2 down in the inning, and that sucks because that runner at third is now going to need a hit to get home. So, yeah, you see a lot of games like that where, you finally get off the schneid. When Holiday hit that home run, it was great to break up the no-hitter in a way like that because you broke up the shutout, but you're still down 3-1. You're down 2 runs with nobody on in the bottom of the ninth. 2 out. Now you got to still start a rally. And Jeremiah had gotten down to an 0-2 count and worked it right. He worked it up to a full count and then clobbered it into the left center field alley. And that's when you knew something special might be happening tonight. Foul ball here by Mountcastle. He's got an 0-2 count. Yeah, Froggy, I don't know what to say. My mods just kind of leaving me out to dry lately. Everybody was around last night. They picked a good night to be here. But, again, this is not to threaten you or any of the other current mods, but it probably would make sense for me to look at recruiting 1 or 2 more to join that group. We got a 2-2 count now on Mountcastle. And remember, folks, I'm always keeping an eye out for who I think would make a good mod. And the best way to not qualify is to say, hey, can I be a mod? Mountcastle strikes out and the inning is over. We get nothing. We get nothing. Wasn't it first and second, nobody out, and we got nothing? was there one out already? Okay, Mateo had made an out. It was first and third with one out, and we couldn't get anything. First and third, one out, and couldn't do a damn thing. Derek doesn't want to be a mod. Hey, Derek, would you like to be a mod then? You see, Derek has figured out the riddle to all this. I told you, folks, it's like being the Pope. The last way you're ever going to be a Pope is to hang around the Vatican and tell all the other bishops and cardinals or whatever, I want to be the next Pope. You'll immediately never be considered. You just got to act like a pope should act, and then somebody will notice and go, you know what, you'd make a good pope. And then now you're a pope. Pete Townsend wants to be a mod. The who?
Who are you?
What was I drinking here? Surely not this cold-ass coffee. Let me see if I can find something better to drink. I'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned. Yenier Cano is on in relief for the Orioles. 58th appearance of the season. His ERA just a little bit under 5. And Miguel Rojas takes a swing and a miss on the first pitch he gets from Cano. Rojas with a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. 1 for 3. Popped up on the infield. Third baseman Rivera wants it. He's got it. 1 away. A reminder again, folks, no baseball in Baltimore tomorrow. The homestand continues, but we got an off day in between the two series on Monday. Second series against the Pirates starts Tuesday night. And what's it say there on the scroll text? 6:20 p.m. the stream will start. First pitch shortly after 6:30. Kyle Bradish, we think, will make the start. The Orioles have not officially named their starters yet for the upcoming series. I think what happened to Kramer yesterday might have a little bit to do with that. But I'm pretty sure Bradish is going to start that first game against Pittsburgh. Ground ball to first, and Cano will not. Did Cano really get to the bag in time? I tell you what, if he did, I'm surprised. The Dodgers have picked up the phone. They want to see if they want to challenge. Cano very slow to cover this bag. And, I guess he did just get him. I mean, if the runner had a cleat with an extra 1/4 inch on the bottom, it might have hit that bag first. Cano did just cover in time to get the second out. Base is empty, 2 down. Here's Kike Hernandez. Did Flacco throw a TD for the Browns today? One and one on Kike. Cano's pitch. Swung on and missed. Good sinker on the outside edge. Folks, we're up to 94 on the like count. Can we get to triple digits? Half a dozen people away. Also, it'd be nice to get that 3,400 sub count to roll over one time. If it doesn't, that means it's been less than 10 subscribers today, which is another not so good day. 2-2 on Kike. Here's a ball fouled away. Count remains 2-2. I've got water. Forgive me for chugging straight out of a 1 liter, but what are you going to do? Here's a ball again fouled back. Still 2-2. BW, he's with Cleveland. Yeah, I was asking about the Browns. And they're coming to Baltimore next week. Oh, a Flacco reunion. I mean, come on. You guys are going to give him a nice warm reception, right? And you're going to win the ball game. It's going to be the best of both worlds. Kike Hernandez strikes out to end the top of the 8th. Cano with the scoreless inning of work. The Orioles are sending up their 3, 4, 5 hitters, which sounds scary, but hitter 5 is Alex Jackson. Again, not our strongest lineup today. I mean, Jackson does have an RBI double today. But, yeah. Bottom of the 8th coming up. We have 6 outs left to play with. We're down 2. Of course, Flacco's a legend. You're a Super Bowl winning quarterback, you're a legend. End of. Trent Dilfer is a legend in Baltimore. As far as I'm concerned, Super Bowl winning quarterback. Probably the least talented quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl, but that's how good the Ravens defense was. All right. Guess who I'm rooting for to do well this year? As long as it doesn't involve the teams I really do want to see win. I am partially rooting for the Chicago Bears, and I have reasons. I want the Bears to win so somebody that I know can eat a little bit of crow. All right, Gunners leading off. Let's get you on base and let's start a rally, my friend. First pitch is inside. Robleski, the lefty, still on the pitch. He had 20 pitches thrown before this inning started. 1-0 on the outside corner at the knees. Strike 1. Rico. Balera. Suave. Getting loose in the Oriole pen right now. Upstairs to Gunner. The count is 2-1. Why does it say Kim on the screen? Sorry, folks. I guess the scoreboard's freezing more than normal today. 2-1 on Gunner. Let's see if that scoreboard bounces back. Well, it's trying. Oh, we got a nice big black box covering up Cal Ripken. Good work, BW. 2-2 to Gunner. Fouled away. Maybe it's blacking out the Harry Belafonte ad. There you go. There it is. I mean, I like the Ravens, but I've always been 100% transparent. I did not grow up with a team in Baltimore. The Colts had left town, 82? I was 5. And the Ravens came in, 94 or something? 95, 96? I grew up a DC football fan. That was the local team. And I can't really just... Believe me, I wanted to. The Washington Football Club did everything in their power to turn me away as a fan. But 2 things happened. They got rid of that awful owner. And they've got a very, very exciting quarterback, Jaden Daniels. And again, I wasn't even following football until last year. Got on the Jaden Daniels bandwagon, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what DC can do with their football team this year. And Baltimore. I'm rooting for both of them. If we get into a Baltimore-Washington Super Bowl, I will cross that bridge when we get to it. We got a full count on Gunner. Payoff pitch. Called strike 3, and Gunner is complaining again. There is that mopey walk back to the dugout. Borderline pitch. Gunner's not happy. 1 down in the top of the 8th. It's too close to take, Gunner. It probably kissed that outside corner. And Gunner just looks up at the sky like somebody's done him wrong. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. 21-6 Commanders at the moment over the New York Football G-Men. Emmanuel Rivera. Ooh, 0-1 pitch. Bad swing, 0-2. Rivera has had the best day at the plate for the Orioles. A double, a single, an RBI, and a run scored. Yep, the Bullets started in Baltimore. Came to D.C., about 73, I want to say, 74? What happened to my game? My game just... What happened? My game is bouncing around. Hopefully it'll come back. Yep, my game just got bounced off. What's going on? Get me back to live, please. 1-2 pitch to Rivera's fouled away. We'll do it again. The Bullets. The Baltimore Bullets, folks. I mean, honestly, I think it only makes sense. Alliteration is always a nice touch when you name your sports team nickname. Baltimore Bullets has a nice ring to it. That alliteration. 2-2 to Rivera. Swing and a miss. He strikes out. 2 down. We've got 4 outs left to play with. And bases empty, 2 down right now. Alex Jackson. Will try to extend the inning and at least bring the tying run up to the plate if he can get on. He's 1 for 3. And he fouls his first pitch away. I think Michael Jordan tried to buy the rights to the Bullets name and was going to move the Wizards back to Baltimore or start an expansion team before he owned the Hornets. That's all news to me. Rant. I want the Washington team to become the Washington Warriors with the chief on the helmet again. Again, that's pretty good alliteration. I think that's a pretty fair compromise to kind of bring back the tradition of the old look of the team. And look, folks, I don't want to get into this conversation because how many years have I had talks about this? But look, I am the last person to ever want to disparage any group of people or insult them in any way, or to cheapen their history or culture or anything like that. But I firmly believe that when these teams were named a century ago or whatever, that those who came up with these names are not looking to come up with an insult for their own team. You come up with a team name that you just want to sound cool and to sort of represent something. And obviously, we know good and darn well there are a lot of Native American themed nicknames: Braves, Indians, Chiefs. I mean, there's a lot, right? And I guess, when the time came around for the Washington Football Club, or I think they started in Boston, right? Whatever. Whenever they went to Redskins, I don't think anybody's intention was to, hey, let's insult the Native American people. There is a strike to Alex Jackson, and he will be retired on strikes. The Orioles don't score here in the 8th. We are going to the 9th. Now, I can say that I'm not Native American myself, but my father, after he and my mother divorced, got remarried to a woman who was previously married to a Native American person. So her first 2 children were Native American, 50-50, whatever you want to call it. And, they were heavily involved in Native American culture. We're living in Maryland at the time. But, there, in the 80s, nobody was complaining. Not the Native Americans that I had within my own, family circle. Everybody was just on board with the idea that the name was a name that was, intended to, pick a name that was we pick these Native American names because they represent that warrior fighting mentality, that it all just comes down to that color, and the word skin. It just, the optics of it for a lot of people. And I can understand because you're just looking at the word. But etymology means something, folks. The history of language and words and how they change meaning over time. Sometimes a word, and for one generation, can be a word that is a positive one, and then that same word can just overnight suddenly be an insult, I just think when it comes to language, you have to go with the intent of what a word is, not just the word itself alone. That's my take. Ben Rortvedt is at the plate, leading off the top of the 9th. Hey, Chilo. Chilo, it's not looking good for us tonight. We need 2 runs in the 9th inning to tie. Dreyer is up in the Dodger bullpen. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Rortvedt. Rico Garcia Check swing. In the dirt. 2-2. Or it's still 1-2, I guess. Scoreboard hasn't changed. I might have gotten it wrong. 1-2 the count, apparently. I mean, folks, just to put a finer point on the whole, like, controversial nickname thing, as we get a line drive in the right field for a base hit. What exactly isn't, potentially problematic about Notre Dame's mascot, the Fighting Irish? You got a cartoon leprechaun representing the Irish culture with his dukes up. A leprechaun. You know what I mean? Like, how, like, I don't know. I don't get it. Shohei Ohtani's at the plate. The count is 0-1. I mean, are you implying that if you're Irish, you're just constantly in the mood to fight people? How about the drunken Irish while we're at it? The fighting drunken Irish. 1-1 the count on Ohtani. Pitched low, 2-1. Usually it just comes down to that whatever, group of people that are in the crosshairs of some kind of name controversy, whatever, it's really up to them about how offended they want to, take something. Like, I'll give you an example. I've heard a lot of jokes about the Amish over the years as Shohei Ohtani takes ball 4. The Dodgers now have first and second with nobody out. Rico Garcia has not had a good start to this appearance. I forgot what my point was about to be. I was on a roll. Now I forgot my last point. Mookie Betts. Don't bring in that phrase. That phrase is so overused. The side that has a problem with wokeness brings up the concept of wokeness way more than the side that they're not happy with. It's so ridiculous. I'm not going to get into it. Oh, that's woke. That's so woke. Yeah. A lot of people lost their minds when the concept of wokeness, which, by the way, has been around for a very long time. I'm not going to get into this. 2-0 pitch is off the plate. It's 3-0. There's just a lot of people out there, folks, that just need to have an enemy. They just need to have somebody to point to and go, you're the reason why things suck. And, folks, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you want to know who your real enemy is? They're not your neighbor. They're the billionaire class, okay? End of. And they would like nothing more than for the rest of us to be at each other's throats. Mookie Betts with a fly ball deep to left. That ball's going to hit off the wall and score at least one run. Rortvedt is in the score. It is 5-2. Runners at Betts only got a single out of that? Wow. I am surprised. Rortvedt scores on an RBI single. Betts hit that one all the way off the wall in left field. He was admiring it. I got a feeling that's why he's not on second. Then again, the lead runner at second put on the brakes there. So whatevs. We're now down by 3. Freddie Freeman at the plate. Changeup fouled away. Yeah, folks. It's the rich. Eat the rich. And stop giving the rich people more money. Could you do that, please? Could you maybe not buy a Bitcoin from a billionaire who was just trying to fleece you for some more cash? Take care of yourself, people. Because the billionaire class does not give a rat's ass about you. Here is a fly ball to left. Carlson makes the catch for the second out. First out. First out in the top of the 9th. So what does the billionaire class do through politics? Well, they lobby for whatever they want and then encourage these two parties to basically create a culture war so that everybody can be upset with each other while they sit back and laugh and rake in the cash. And honestly, once I determined that that's what this is all about, and I don't see it changing in my lifetime, and life is too damn short and too damn precious, I'm not going to hang around and put up with this anymore. I'm leaving. Like, I still got to pay my taxes living over here, but the day-to-day nonsense, I'm done. I'm done. And I get to cheat and still enjoy baseball living over here doing this. Michael Conforto has a count of 2-2. First and second, one away. Garcia struggling in this outing. 22 pitches already. Only one out. I just hope my fellow Americans can figure it out here pretty soon, that when it comes to picking sides, it shouldn't be sides of you versus your neighbor. It should be us against them. And them, I told you who them is. Ground ball up the middle. Gunnar steps on second, throws to first in time for a double play. 6-6-3 double play to end the inning. Well, I don't have to go far back to remember a time when the Orioles were going into the bottom of the 9th down 3 runs. Let me see how far back I have to rack my brain to remember a time when the Orioles figured out a way in the bottom of the 9th to come down 3 runs. I mean, it must have been, I don't know, 18 hours ago, maybe? Come on, folks. Okay, SB, that's your choice. Sorry that out of the 2,000 hours of baseball calling I've done, that for 20 minutes or whatever, you got upset. It's your right to say goodbye, but obviously you're upset enough to let me know. I guess that's supposed to make me feel bad and change my ways. Sorry to report, that's not going to be the case. I know what my track record is talking about subjects like this, which is to say I very rarely do. But it organically kind of just came up today and I went with it. It's unfortunate that it ruined your experience. And yeah, I understand. By the way, you can't just unsubscribe and then leave a chat message, because in order to leave a chat message, you have to be subscribed. So the right thing to have written is, I am writing this final comment to tell you that I'm going to unsubscribe now. You can't say just unsubscribed and then type in the chat, because it's not possible. Okay? Have a good rest of your time doing other things. All right. Moving on. Wow, folks. My message was stop fighting each other, get along, and yeah, not picking either side. Trying to be a mediator, but apparently that's enough to drive somebody up a wall. And again, just another example of why I can't tolerate it over there. I mean, that's going to set somebody off? Okay. 0-2 the count on Dylan Carlson, batting right-handed against the lefty Dreyer. 0-2 is called strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. We are down to 2 more outs, and Mansolino and Ashe are barking at the ump on this strike 3 call. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. That's a strike. I mean, this complaining stuff is now starting to spread into the coaching staff. Kobe Mayo with a pop-up, first base side, long run. Freeman with his back to the infield, and the right fielder call. Meet up near the screen, but the ball is not playable for either. Strike 1. Every day I got somebody who says, you know what, BW, I'm fed up with you. It's so weird because, like, if you knew me in person, right, and you spent hundreds or thousands of hours with me, and I'm an entertaining guy, yet instead of tuning in, you just come and hang out with me somewhere. We shoot the breeze. We're getting along for countless, hangouts. But one little conversation, and it's like, oh, I don't ever want to know you again. I'm done. And again, how innocuous was that conversation? 1-2 pitch to Mayo is swung on and missed. And the Orioles are down to their final out. Look, folks, I think I know how to read a ball game. I knew when to lock in last night. And I know when a game like this is kind of not really looking like a comeback. We got 2 down with Mateo at the plate. And he fouls back the first pitch. Oh, you want the hat? With Mateo up, 2 down, nobody on, down 5-2. Line drive, base hit in the center field by Jorge Mateo. What hat? What hat? Mateo extends the ball game. And now that he's out of the way, I can now go to the hat. That worked out well. Luis Vasquez, he got a base hit his last time up. Can he possibly get 2 straight hits and extend this game? One more base runner gets the tying run to the plate. Well, you can't get a walk and a walk-off. You can get a walk and a tie. with a home run. A walk-off would need to be a grand slam right now, which needs 2 more base runners. 2-0 to Vasquez. Taken all the way, it's a strike. Top of the zone, called strike 2. The Orioles are down to their final strike. I had such a kind message. I've had a few of them really lately with the call I made last night. Just very encouraging from people who thank me for calling such a great game. But for every one of those, you see it, folks. Every day somebody's mad at me. Ground ball to third could end the ball game. It will, as Vasquez is thrown out on a bang play at first, and this ball game is over. It just never felt like there was a big rally in us today, and I really do feel like it's sort of that coming down off an adrenaline rush from not just last night, but 2 straight nights of walk-offs. We had a weak lineup card today. Sugano didn't exactly help set the tone by giving up a home run to the first batter he faced and 3 home runs in total. But at least the Orioles kind of made it a game for a while there. Kershaw was no-hitting us. The Dodgers already had the 3 home runs. We did get up to 8 hits on the board tonight, but we also made a couple of errors. The Dodgers left 8 men on base. We left 7. Final score, Dodgers 5, Orioles 2. We still take the series and have still won 5 out of our last 6. And what is it, 6? Or no, 5 of our last 7 and... what is it? I don't know. We're still winning more than losing lately. Hey, Andrea's here. That's not a Magic membership. That's a super chat. Andrea's mixing it up today with a super chat that said, sorry I missed the fun today, guys. Well, Andrea, the fun was last night. Believe me. And Friday night. Today wasn't as much fun. But I found somebody else that hates my guts today. I got to go back. Just unsubscribed because you just couldn't stop from taking the bait and not let sports. First of all, taking what bait? Who set me up? Who got credit for luring me into... Oh, Cuzzo, because he wrote woke culture? Look, folks, I just speak about whatever topic you guys happen to mention. It's all organic. I don't have an agenda. Okay? Again, let me make it clear when it comes to politics. My best advice is to stop picking one side and act like they're always right and the other side is always wrong. It's not helping. Okay? It seems silly to me that with the vast array of issues, the countless amount of issues and policies to be debated, that somehow one party's got them all right and another party's all completely wrong. Again, it's tribalism. They want to divide you. They want you to fight each other. And all I am pleading is for you guys to not buy into their BS, because at the end of the day, they're controlling you. They are controlling you, okay? And I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of being controlled or, having somebody tell me what I should think instead of allowing my own analysis and instincts to make these decisions for myself. I can look at any given issue without figuring out, does this party have to say about it? Oh, well, then that's how I feel. No, I look at the issue, and then I make up my mind about, well, what do I want to see about that? If it falls in line with one party or the other, what does it matter? We're here about making things better and fixing issues in the way you think is best, not to win brownie points for being on the winning team of this archaic, outdated, corrupt two-party system that ain't doing us American voters any favors, all right? And I'll leave it at that. I hope that didn't inspire yet another person to unsubscribe. I'll shut up. But I guess today I'm a little bit lucid, still running on the fumes from last night's game. And I will leave it all there, okay? Glad you guys tuned in today. Sorry about the result, but we still had a fun weekend here, I have to think. Taking 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. And again, the game last night, I'm still riding that wave. I'm still on that magic carpet ride. And with a day off tomorrow, I plan on feeling those great feelings from that game for another full day. We fall back to 11 games under 500. Let's see. Wins and losses. The win goes to Kershaw. That's his 10th of the season. Sugano falls to 10-8. 27,874 in attendance today. And time of the game was 2 hours and 52 minutes. Winning pitcher, record Kershaw, Sugano the loser, and Dreyer gets his 3rd save. Sugano the starter, 3 home run balls, 4 earned runs in just 3 innings. He exited the game in the 4th after taking a, not the hardest hit line drive, but a liner back up toward the mound that hit off his, I believe his right foot or maybe ankle. Didn't seem like he can put any pressure on it. They took him out of the ball game. So not a very memorable outing for Sugar. ERA currently sits at 4.57. Grant Wolfram with a couple innings of relief to try to bridge the gap to the rest of the bullpen in those early innings. A hit and a walk, 2 innings of scoreless ball. Cade Stroud, another really nice outing from Stroud, folks. We got to start admitting that this dude, pretty good. He's got a 1.37 ERA right now after another scoreless inning of work with no hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. What more do you want? Keegan Aiken had a scoreless inning, but he did struggle with a couple of walks. Yenier Cano, a 1-2-3 inning with a strikeout. Rico Garcia did struggle today for the first time in a while, giving up 2 hits, a walk, and a run scored. His ERA now at 3.51. In terms of offensive stars, I think you've only got one, and that's Rivera again. He's the only Oriole to get multiple hits. And he's the only Oriole to both score a run and drive in a run. 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. So I'll give the game ball to Emmanuel Rivera. All right. Once again, next game is going to be Tuesday night. Kyle Bradish, we think, against, what is this guy's name? It is a tongue twister. Mlodzinski. Carmen Mlodzinski, Mlodzinski. Ooh. He's out of Hilton Head in South Carolina. Hilton Head is just a hop, skip, and a jump down Highway 17 on the South Carolina coast, south of Myrtle Beach. I am very familiar with Hilton Head. I wonder where he went to high school. Carmen Mlodzinski will be on the mound to face Kyle Bradish. Again, that is what we have now, it could change. Otherwise, I think we're about done. I'm sure there is a sporting event for me to redirect you to here right now, because not only is there baseball going on, there's a lot of football as well. Let's take a peek and see who is doing what and why would I go there. Rhino has got Titans versus Broncos. JJ is doing Phillies against the Marlins. Let me see what stage of the game that Phillies game is. Is it a final? Yeah, it's a final. He's doing his wrap-up show. So let's take you over for some NFL action. Shall we? Shall we? Shall we play a game? Titans, Broncos. Does anybody care? Does anyone care? Does anyone care? Does anyone care? Do 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 do. Hey, we got over 100 likes, folks. Thank you so much. Thanks for that super chat, Annie. It's the only one that came in today. One super chat, no magic memberships, and what appears to be maybe 5 subscribers today. I mean, ouch. Let me see. When I was young and we didn't give a damn. Too shy of 3410. So we had 3405 when we got 3 subscribers in this game today. Although I should consider the net profit, which is to say I definitely lost a subscriber today because unfortunately I was trying to say something that my intention was to try and rally people out there to stop fighting each other over stupid culture wars and maybe look at the bigger picture and realize who's really responsible for what is upsetting them in their lives. It's not your neighbor, okay? It's not your neighbor. And I'll leave it at that. Folks, I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. I hope you can find something more enjoyable than this ball game was. And again, after what we saw Friday and Saturday night, I don't think you could have expected anything to top that, okay? So let's just take this one on the chin. Be happy we won the series. We got a day off tomorrow to rest up. And Pittsburgh's coming to town Tuesday night. We're going to see Paul Skeens, by the way, in that series. So more marquee pitchers coming through town here during this homestand. Hope you'll join me on that Tuesday night. And I hope you do well between now and then. Let me say thank you to the mods in the Charm City chat for doing yet another bang-up job, keeping this chat nice and charming. Thanks for everybody hitting the like button. We got over 100, the super chat, and all the other good stuff. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me and the hat. Sending it now to Rising Rhino. He's doing the Broncos. I hope, let me see, I might catch the final 5 minutes of the DC game, so I'm out of here, folks. Have a good one, and I will chirp at you later. Take care, everybody.